Hey guys, welcome back to the next part of our series. Today we're going to continue with the final attack, part 3. So let's go. This is where we left off. We have this very nice idle pose getting ready, and then we have the jump, a very good preparation, this sort of like monkey-like jump. But let's fix a little bit of that, because as you can see there's a couple of curves that are making a very weird interpolation here. So what's happening here is, instead of moving the hand forward, he's moving the hand through the arm. So I'm just going to move the hand like this. Probably a couple of frames after this. So like here, like push the elbow out, this one. So now when we interpolate, let's again focus on that thing. Strongly recommend that you always work on just the area that you want to work on. There we go. So here I would expect the hand to be coming down before doing this thing. Now it seems like we lost a little bit of the very nice effect that we had before, where he would spread out the hand a little bit, kind of like the palm. So let's go there. There we go. So again, let's take a look at the whole thing. There's a little bit of a weird interpolation here. Let's see where did that keyframe. Let's just delete that one. And now the hand's gonna go to the front, down, and then we're gonna jump. Like boom. We jump, keep the sword back. For instance, here, let's really keep the sword back. I would even argue to keep the sword like this at first. And then, for instance, on this frame right here, now the sword starts going forward. Let's move the position here a little bit, see where this is going. Now the sword would go to the front. I would still keep it like a little bit back here. Or wait a second, he's actually moving it in the wrong way. He should have it like this. So let's go here. Yeah, there we go. So boom, and then here. Actually here I'll probably keep it like this, like pointing down. So keep the sword pointing down, and then on the final part, like right about here, I would say that the sword can start going like forward, so that when we hit, we get that very nice arc going. Boom. Now here, this is way too fast, I think. So I would expect to have another keyframe there to support the landing here. So this one's fine, that one's fine, but then this is way too extreme. So let's add one more keyframe there. Again, select all of the keyframes, and let's just give the one more keyframe. Interpolation should do its thing, but as you can see, it's already doing the thing that we've talked about before, where we don't want to. We want to keep the stretch at this point, like the sword is still falling. So we want to keep the stretch in here. So I'm gonna keep the character like up. And the sword, let's keep it flat. And now here's where the hit is coming, right? So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3. Now same thing, we've talked about this before, about like the feet. So this guy, let's get rid of the toe for now. And it's still falling, kind of like a passing position, right? Where we're just like moving down, and there we go. Now we land. Probably even like further back. There we land. And then here, very important on this pose, let's fix this foot, because this is the main foot. So let's get rid of the toe. Let's get rid of the rotation in. We can always check what it is here. There we go, and just like keep the foot flat. So it's just gonna slide. I would actually slide the foot back a little bit. There we go. See how that transitions a lot better? Now this pose seems to be a little bit wrong, so I'm just gonna move the sword down, point it upwards, and where's my elbow? Like, of course the elbow needs to be on this side. Through all of this, guys, I haven't mentioned it, but you probably saw it. I've been using auto keyframe, because otherwise having to press S every single time might be a little bit too time consuming. So there we go. So see how that now we have this arc where we move the sword up. We're gonna be taking a look at motion trails in just a second. We get this, and now we need a little bit of a better interpolation here. So what's gonna happen is he's gonna twist his whole body, and of course the sword is gonna be coming through this side. Let's move the elbow back again. So we're gonna go from here to here, similar to what we saw with the baseball pitch. Let's keep the arm like really far back for now, so that the hit becomes way more intense. So even this one, I'm tempted to keep it like back here still. It's gonna be 1, 2, 3, 4. That's the final punch. Let's exaggerate the stab. There we go. It's gonna allow us to push this a little bit further. There we go. So now the interpolation is gonna be way better. Then after this, a little bit of an overshoot. So let's just like push him down a little bit more. Push this guy a little bit further. Just have a little bit of an overshoot, and then we start going back into our pose. And again, we don't want the pose to come back. We have a little bit of an issue there with the sword. That's completely fine. So what's happening with the sword is, as you can see here, we have a lot of rotations, and then it goes all the way back. So I'm just gonna keep this rotation there, and now the hand is just gonna remain there, and it's just easier to bring this back into my idle pose like that. See? So now I'm pretty sure that the hand is gonna keep its own rotation. So let's take a look at the whole thing, especially the jump. It looks good. I mean, I think it looks good. I'm gonna grab all of the curves and just keep them as spline on this area right here after the jump. So I'm just gonna spline them. That's gonna soften up the animation a little bit. There we go. Look at the jump. The jump looks very cool. I do think it looks a little bit rubber bandy, meaning that it's not like perfectly. I'm not sure if it's the height or if it's the. It's not the speed. It is the speed. As you can see, it feels like he falls really fast, like really, really fast. So let's go to the apex of the jump. Let's just grab this guy, the main curve. We're gonna visualize editable motion trail, and let's take a look. Yeah, you can see it here. So, where's the fall? So, at this distance, like all of these things are a little bit too fast. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So let's just grab everything. And just give it one more frame on the fall. Let's start with one frame. There we go. Let's see how that looks. A lot better. I think another thing that kind of like makes it weird is the fact that he lands and then it's way too fast. Like this transition is way too fast. So let's really push this guy down on the overshoot. And let's grab everything here again. Let's see if by just increasing the time there we get a better effect. Whoa. My bad. I did not select everything, so let's select everything here. Let's give it a little bit more time. I'm really gonna go. I'm gonna go really crazy here. Okay, see that looks a little bit better. Because now the fall, it looks like it really has weight to it, right? So okay, that looks good. That looks good. We're in a good position there. And then like that overshoot, that's perfectly fine. Let's get rid of the motion trail for now. So that overshoot is good. We need to fix a little bit of the foot. The splines usually mess up the foot pretty bad because instead of having this very nice like flat curve, we get this. So now this preparation, we definitely need to increase it. I like the timing of the attack though. So it's just like this. Let's just give it way more time here. It's gonna be boom, boom. There we go. Probably not as much. A little bit less. There we go. Trial and error, guys. Trial and error. It's all about trial and error. Now the final like pierce here, it also looks a little bit too fast. So one thing I can do is I can just grab this, just scale this up a little bit, snap it, Now that's way too slow. So same deal, just scale it down, snap it. Okay, that's better. Now we can do the same thing. Do we have the overshoot? We do. So let's just increase the distance here on the overshoot. Okay, that's way too much. But you can see how it definitely changes the thing. Because it's a fast attack, so I wouldn't expect it to. Boom. There we go. That's better. Let's take a look at the whole thing. Always good to see the thing in context. So we got that. Boom. Boom. There we go. That looks good. I think that looks good. Now let's fix the feet. So I'm going to go here to this guy's right here. Just going to the graph editor. And for instance, this guy's right here. Like I know from here. Like I know this guy right here should remain pretty much static. It seems like we need to move this guy back a little bit. Because this is the final attack. And he's kind of like sliding back. Is he sliding back or forward? He's kind of like sliding back, so let's just move him forward. There we go. There we go. So now he remains on the same spot. Okay, I like it. Now, I think we can exaggerate the jump a little bit better because he's jumping in a very weird way. So see the splines there, like messing up. That's very common for splines to do that. So I'm just gonna move this guys up. And even if we need to add like an extra element here, I'll just make sure that the transition from this frame to this frame looks better. And it's all about cleaning up now, guys. You know how we get to this final part, and it's all about cleaning up. Now, one question I get asked by my students quite a bit is how much should you clean up? Like how intense should you be on your cleanup process? And the answer is, of course, as much as you can. Like bring the animation all the way up to perfection. However, it is also something that we need to take into consideration. And that's the fact that there's always time constraints, right? Like there's always a client that needs to see the animation like right away. There's always like the final due date on the thing. So there's always things that we need to take into account. Let's go here. So this one right here, very important. I'm gonna just keep it static. So just move it there. We can go to the graph editor and see what's going on. See that? So I'm just gonna grab all of these guys, grab these guys, and just flatten them out. And that way the foot's gonna remain still once it hits the floor. We do have one frame here that we can utilize. So let's just use our toe up and down. I think it might not be a bad idea to move the whole character down a little bit, so the feet is already like touching the ground. And then careful here with this guy. Same deal. Like, let's just go here, grab all of the tangents here and just flatten them out. There we go. So the feet lands and it just remains as stable as possible. Like here, we kind of slide back. That's fine. I mean, sort of a little bit of overlap, but that's fine. So yeah, every time you're delivering a project, you're doing a commercial or a short or whatever, you're gonna have time constraints. There are certain like what's the word, like benchmarks that studios and recruiters follow when they're thinking about how much you should animate. I remember a friend of mine that worked on a very famous movie here in Mexico, animated movie. It's about like this cartoon X, very funny, very like raunchy. She said that they were expected to animate, I believe it was 10 seconds per week, up to like the final polish, like super complete, 10 seconds. So right now we're 190, so that's almost 10 seconds. We're almost there, and we're doing this in an hour. So imagine if we had like a whole week to completely polish this up, we would be getting some very, very cool stuff. Now, let's go to the in-betweens again, and let's start checking out how we can fix some of this poses. So for instance, here, I don't like the fact that this leg is like moving forward before the launch. So let's go to the leg, and I want to keep this leg pretty much all the way up till here. I would still like this leg to be, or actually no, right? Because we're gonna go from here, and then here, I would expect to be moving this forward, and then here, because what is that's the question that we need to ask here. What's moving the character forward? Is it the leg that's moving me forward, or is it the torso and the leg's just there to stabilize? I think it's the torso, like, but it looks weird. See how it kind of like skates? So I would need to actually stand up here. Like in this position, I would need to stand up. So we fall. We bring this down. Careful there. Have some weird frames here. Why? I don't know. Let's just fix them. Maybe it was the snap that did this weird movements here. Yeah, it's the snap. See how we have some very weird effects here? I'm pretty sure we snapped properly, but it seems like we didn't. Like, it seems like we exaggerated. Or did we not select everything? Because this is way too intense. Let's bring this back a little bit. Oh, see, it's right there. I think it's right there. Do we have an issue on these keyframes? Ooh. Yeah. No. Huh, that's weird. No, that's the value. So that's fine. Okay. Let's just keep going. So we land. Bring the sword back. We bring the hand back. This hand's also very weird. Let's keep it forward for just a second. Let's balance the character a little bit better. So we bring the sword back. Ugh, what's going on? Oh, you know what could have been? The splines. When we do the splines, sometimes splines do weird thing. Because splines soften everything up, but they also push things in certain places that I might not like. So one thing we can do, just for instance, the arm here. I'm just gonna go back to auto spline, and now we should be able to just fix some of these elements, because yes, see this, like that shouldn't be working like that. We see the sword. Did the spline change the slide then? Because I felt like the slide was good before, and now it's very weird. It's not that weird, but it looks off, right? Let's take a look here. That's perfect. The jump looks very good now. Actually, it's not that bad. I mean, it is wrong, as you can see here, or as you can see on the slow-mo, but when you see it as a complete animation, it actually doesn't look that bad. I do hate this, like, sort of sliding of the legs, like, back into position. So what I'm gonna do here is, I'm probably, after the final, like punch there, I'm just gonna keep this leg right there, and keeps this leg right there as well. See, that's really weird. I'm not sure why. Oh no, I know what this is. Just let's push this thing here. Of course, the knee. So I'll rather keep like a very aggressive pose at the end. We're not gonna go back to the idle. We're just gonna keep this very aggressive pose. Let's go there. This might be a good idea here as well. And then here, let's keep the sword like back here. It's kind of like the intro for the character. There we go. This is one of the cool things about doing an animation from scratch, like not following a reference, that you're free to change certain things. If a couple of things are not working at first and then and you want to like just modify them, feel free to do it. As long as you have a nice animation that conveys what you want, which in this case is this very aggressive, like primal character, then we're good. I do want to fix this thing. So I'm going to stop the video right here, guys, because we're, again, running at the 20-minute mark. As you can see, there's what it's been one hour of work so far, and we're in a very good position. I would say the only thing we need to fix now is the that slide there that we have, and then add a couple of overlaps in certain areas, and I think that we're going to be good. This is going to be the end of the animation. So hang on tight, and I'll see you back on the next video. Bye-bye.